What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Night Owl channel. In this video, I'll be counting down the top 20 smartest characters within the Dynasty Warriors series. Now, this video is a little bit difficult to make versus like the top 20 strongest because it's a little bit more subjective and there's no like direct indication of like a dueling perspective on how to make the choice on who is smarter than the other. I'm going off of what I've read based on what the character has done. And with that, hopefully I make a respectable and accurate list as of right now. It's very subjective. It's hard to really make that deduction, but you guys let me know down below what you think about my list. Before we jump into it, I want to mention one honorable mention that did not make the list. So the honorable mention who didn't make the list is going to be Yue Ying. So Yue Ying doesn't make the list because she doesn't have a lot of information behind her, but because she was noted to be as talented as Zhuge Liang, and that's why Zhuge Liang had such interest in her, she had to be quite intelligent in order to receive that recognition from Zhuge Liang. In the game, she's usually responsible for creating a lot of inventions, including like the wood oxen and the flowing horse, but other than that, Yue Ying doesn't have a lot of other information. I definitely would say she's a very smart character, and I at least wanted to mention her, but I don't think she hits the top 20. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the top 20 smartest characters in the Dynasty Warriors series. Again, let me know what you guys think about my list down below. I'm going to try to do this as best as I can. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, starting off at number 20, we have Deng Ai. Deng Ai was one of the smartest generals of his time. He was incredible at seeing exactly what his opponent would do in a battle, and he moved his forces extremely quickly to intercept them. He beat Zheng Wei several times with ease, and he helped with putting down the rebellion of Guan Shujian and Wen Qin. He fooled Wen Qin into attacking him, which Deng Ai ended up taking advantage of because he was fully prepared for the attack. And then, of course, Deng Ai being responsible for pretty much ending the Three Kingdoms, with his last victory being one of the greatest campaigns of the war, the attack on Chengdu. He was amazing as a general and one of the few generals who never lost a battle according to the records. I had to include him up here just because of his ability to be versatile. So coming in at number 20, I think Deng Ai is a solid choice. Alright, coming in at number 19, we have Lu Meng. So like I mentioned in my video with Lu Meng, he was originally mainly a warrior, a meathead, but Sun Quan was once quoted to have said that a person improves as he grows older, and Lu Meng is an excellent example. And as he grew older, he became more knowledgeable and resourceful and was second to Zhou Yu. So Sun Quan definitely acknowledged Lu Meng's abilities, and I think he's a pretty smart character, not only being able to successfully, go to battle and win and, of course, capturing Guan Yu and defeating him, but also acquiring the knowledge to become a respected scholar and just being able to absorb the information and becoming the character that he is represented within the game. I think Lu Meng is a great choice here at number 19. Alright, coming in at number 18, we have Zhen Ji. Alright, so the reason I want to put Zhen Ji on this list is because she is an extremely intelligent character, and the information that I read from her when she was little, according to the things that I've read when she was 9 years old, she became interested in scholarly arts and started reading books, and Zhen Ji is quoted to have said, "I heard that virtuous women in history learned from the successes and failures of those who lived before them. If they didn't read, how did they learn all that?" It's very interesting to read that about Zhen Ji because even at 9 years old, she had the intelligence and the intuitiveness to want to learn and become a better person, even at 9 years old. As she became the wife of Cao Pi, and in the games you can see it as well, she definitely has her ability to deduce certain situations and of course how Cao Pi's feeling and stuff like that. I think Zhen Ji is, again, a very intelligent person, but I think it goes a little bit deeper because she has also that emotional intelligence that's shown within her childhood, and then of course that she's able to pick up on things when Cao Pi's not feeling well, or perhaps doing the right thing, or whatever it might be. I think Zhen Ji is a pretty intelligent character, and I think she's a great fit here at number 18. Number 18, Zhen Ji. Let me know what you guys think about that down below. Let's go ahead and move on to the next character. Alright, coming at number 17, we have Lu Su. So Lu Su, I think, is a very good choice for this list. He was the mentor to Lu Meng, and he was about, I would say, equal with Zhou Yu in terms of being relied upon when it came to strategy. He maintained very good military discipline and executed orders without fail. And even when he was in the army, he was often seen reading books. And he could think far ahead and possessed an exemplary sense of judgment. So one of the smartest characters from the Wu Kingdom. I think Lu Su definitely belongs on this list, being part of very important battles, including like Fan Castle, and of course, providing moments of wisdom and suggestions to people like Zhou Yu and Lu Meng. I think a lot of characters from the Wu Kingdom definitely look to Lu Su for his advice and suggestion. And even in the moments when he's talking with, Zhuge Liang or Guan Yu, trying to negotiate peace and trying to maintain that before, Fan Castle ends up erupting. I think Lu Su is a very smart and intelligent character, and I think he definitely deserves to be on this list. So coming at number 17, I think is a solid choice for Lu Su. Alright, coming in at number 16, we have Zheng He. Zheng He was described to be a resourceful and proficient military leader who was well versed in geography and capable of making accurate predictions about war situations, to the point where even Zhuge Liang was wary of him. Like I talked about in his video, or any video that I really mentioned Zheng He was an extremely adaptable and versatile military general, and there were several campaigns where he predicted Zhuge Liang's forces were going to make a certain move and he countered them, or he caused them to retreat because of his stellar defense or whatever it may be. But I think Zheng He definitely commanding respect from characters like Zhuge Liang, Liu Bei. The Shu forces were definitely very weary of him, and I think he's a solid choice here at number 16. Let's go ahead and move on to the top 15. Alright, coming in at number 15, this might be a little controversial, you guys let me know down below. I have Zuo Si. Zuo Si within the game is a very mysterious, interesting character. He doesn't have a big backstory or anything like that, but he was definitely a mysterious and magical kind of character. I definitely think he is an intelligent character, but it was never really shown too much within the games. But I think because of his abilities and what he was kind of known for, and the kind of the minor historical information that's really known about him, he was performing a number of magical acts in Cao Cao's court, and a lot of mind-blowing things that they haven't really seen before. So Zuo Si had this magical, spiritual element about him, but he had to have some level of intelligence in order to have the reputation that he has, to live to be 300 years old, to have the magical element, to be spiritual to a point where it's respected among people that he's interacting with, or just people looking back at his time within the Three Kingdoms period. Zuo Si definitely has a hidden level of intelligence, and I think he's a solid choice for this list and a solid choice at number 15. You guys let me know down below. But Zuo Si, number 15. Let's go ahead and move on to the next character. Alright, coming at number 14, we have Zhu Shu. Now, similar to what I said about Sun Ce, not really any insight on how intelligent he was. In the games, he is there to break the 8 Gates formation of Cao Ren, but other than that, you don't really get to see Zhu Shu's intelligence being put to the test. The hypothetical in Dynasty Warriors 8, where he's returning to Fan Castle and he's helping Guan Yu escape, and then recruiting Zheng Wei at Tianshui, or whatever he's doing, him being there and helping establish that and creating that for the Shu Kingdom definitely shows hints of his intelligence, but again, it's all hypothetical. I'm putting him here at number 14 because I think it's a really good slot for him, because we don't know historically how intelligent he was, but we knew he had some level of intelligence, especially if he's friending someone like Zhuge Liang. Within the game, Zhuge Liang definitely respects Zhu Shu and recognizes him as someone of talent, but again, we don't know how far that talent would go. But if I had to choose, if I'm making a deduction on how smart I think Zhu Shu was, I think there's a great slot for him at number 14, because again, it's almost like Sun Ce. We just didn't really get to see how intelligent he was. So with that, I think he's a good fit at number 14. Let's go ahead and move on to the next person. Alright, coming in at number 13, we have Man Chong. So Man Chong was an ambitious, resolute, courageous, and resourceful military general and politician for Cao Cao. And the main reason he's up here at number 13, because within the games and within history is the battles and defenses at Hefei. Now within the games, he is the mastermind behind the New Hefei Castle defenses and traps and everything like that. So To have the ability to do that and the foresight and the intelligence to build something like that, you have to be quite intelligent. I think it shows how intelligent Manchung was and how he was able to predict what Sun Quan was trying to do, how he was trying to attack their fortress. And I think Manchung is a solid choice here at number 13. One of the main strategists for Wei. Let's go ahead and move on to the next person. Alright, next up, coming in at number 12, we have Shun Yo. Now, Shun Yo was known to be a highly profound and insightful thinker who hid his secrets very, very well. Cao Cao often praised Shun Yo, and he has been quoted to have said that Shun Yo is intelligent, but he appears to be foolish. He is courageous, but appears to be cowardly. He is resilient, but appears to be weak, and he neither flaunts his talents nor brags about his achievements. You may be as intelligent as him, but you can't pretend to be as foolish as well as he does. Not only did he have the intelligence and everything that Cao Cao recognized in him, but he also had the ability to hide it so well that people thought these actual things of him. I think Shun Yo was a very capable strategist for Cao Cao's fortresses. Within the games, you definitely see remnants of that personality come out. You see him being more reserved, and certain lines he says, "I'd rather be in the back, just looking at maps in the dark," whatever it is. And he has people like Jia Shu trying to bring that out of him, Guo Jia trying to talk to him and stuff. Shun Yo, I definitely think deserves to be on this list. And because he was recognized by Cao Cao to be someone of true intelligence and talent, that enough in itself was enough to put him up here. And I think Shun Yo is a solid choice at number 12. Let's go ahead and move on to number 11. Alright, next up at number 11, we have Lu Xun. So Lu Xun definitely receiving his prominence after the battle of Fan Castle, and of course the following battle at Yiling. But Lu Xun being able to successfully, of course, defeat Guan Yu at Fan Castle, and then successfully predict and defend Liu Bei's attack at Yiling is impressive to say the least. He's a very young general at the time, and he was basically putting this mountain of expectations on his shoulders, and he was able to come out on top against a very determined, high-energy Shu forces. I mean, these people were coming for revenge. They were fighting pretty ruthlessly, and I think Lu Xun does such a great job in those two incidents of showing his intellectual abilities to rationally take down and defend the Shu forces. Not only was he thinking of that, but he was also thinking ahead about how this battle was affecting the overall big picture. This battle causing casualties and losses among both sides was not only hurting both sides, but it also was helping the one person that they are trying so hard to defeat, and that's of course Cao Pi in the Wei Kingdom. So Lu Xun, realizing that the Battle of Yiling comes to an end, they were victorious, but then he, at least within the games and I believe in history as well, he goes right back to, Shu, Zhuge Liang talks to him. He realizes this is not the best way to go about their current situation, and he negotiates peace and an alliance between the two so they can resume their focused efforts on the North and the Wei Kingdom. But I think Lu Xun's a very talented and very intelligent character. Definitely belongs on this list. It was hard to decide whether or not he was in the top 10 or not, but I think everyone in the top 10 definitely has him beaten. You guys let me know down below. But number 11, Lu Xun. Let's go ahead and move on to the top 10. Alright, starting off the top 10, we have the fledgling Phoenix himself, Pang Tong. So Pang Tong and Zhuge Liang are definitely compared a lot because they are the two significant strategists within the Shu Kingdom. And because of that comparison, because of what Pang Tong was really known for, I definitely think he's one of the smartest characters in the game, and I think he's a great choice for starting off the top 10. Pang Tong was an extremely intelligent character. He had the ability to solve problems. He was well-versed in the art of deception. For example, I'm sure a lot of you guys already know, but Pang Tong being able to chain the ships of Cao Cao's forces while being under the guise of him being part of Cao Cao's forces without becoming unnerved, remaining calm and stoic in his objective without, really raising any suspicion to himself, definitely shows a lot of intelligence and commendability when it comes to Pang Tong, and I think that really attests to his ability as an intelligent character. I think Pang Tong definitely doesn't get as much credit as I think he should. Again, he was a great problem solver. Apparently, according to one of the things I've read, he was able to solve all of the turmoil that's usually solved by officials of a town accumulated for 100 days. So he had the intelligence and the wits when he applied them to really make a difference in whatever he was doing, and I think Pang Tong is a great choice here at number 10. Alright, next up at number 9, we have Fa Zheng. Now, Fa Zheng coming at number 9 should be no-brainer to most people. He is an extremely intelligent character, and he really helped Liu Bei push his southern campaign into Yi, and then of course into Hanzhong as well before he ended up passing away. Fa Zheng was an extremely intelligent character, and he's really the reason that Liu Bei was really to amount to anything. I think it was Fa Zheng and I believe Pang Tong were the only two characters that were posthumously honored by Liu Bei after they both passed away. And it's definitely noted that these two characters were very important to Liu Bei, because during both of these campaigns, while they were alive, the campaigns were going very well. But as soon as both characters died, it seemed that Liu Bei had a hard time finishing up both of the campaign. And again, like I mentioned in his video, and I believe Zhuge Liang's as well, with his relationship with Fa Zheng, it is said that if Fa Zheng was still alive during the Battle of Yiling, the result would have been a lot different. But yeah, Fa Zheng coming in at number 9 I think is a solid choice. He gets so much credit for helping Liu Bei in his western southernish campaigns, and even though he might be not recognized by a lot of people in terms of being one of the smartest characters, I think he definitely deserves to be here in the top 10. Let me know what you guys think about that down below. Number 9, Fa Zheng. Coming in at number 8, we have Fei Yi. So Fei Yi is an NPC within the games, but I don't think he gets as much credit as I think he should. According to what I've read, he had jobs under Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang, and he was promoted several times until he became the prefect of the Master of Writing. That was the third most powerful position in Shu at the time. According to the records of war, he was able to handle all of the government's daily documents, records, and everything by noon, and they would spend the afternoons and evenings inviting guests to his home and throwing banquets. He showed incredible ability to do his job, and later became the Chancellor of Shu, where he also did very well. He ended up being assassinated by a former Wei officer, and after his death, another skilled administrator went to try and emulate what Fei Yi was doing, but within 10 days the government also came to a complete standstill because all of the paperwork that hadn't gotten done yet, proving that the reason Fei Yi could do this was not a lack of work, but he was just incredibly good at it. I wanted to mention that really quickly because I believe Fei Yi is a very notable and smart character within the Dynasty Warriors series. I just don't think he gets a lot of spotlight within the game, and he's not a character that I would jump to know or recognize based on how he's displayed within the game. So coming in at number 8, I think it's a solid choice for the NPC Fei Yi. Coming in at number 7, we have Xun Yu, one of the many key advisors in Cao Cao's rise in power. He was a man who was great with judging talents and men, and he played a huge part in the early construction again of Cao Cao's early forces. Being responsible for recommending many good advisors to Cao Cao, Xun Yu was extremely close to Cao Cao up until the point of Cao Cao taking the title of Duke, which Xun Yu did not believe in. Within the game, Xun Yu is playing that role pretty closely, I would say, to the historical text, providing a lot of suggestions and advice to Cao Cao. Cao Cao always was looking to Xun Yu for advice on what to do, what he thought, and I think it's because he genuinely trusted Xun Yu's intuitiveness on what he thinks the best thing to do at that particular time. I think Xun Yu is hands down one of the smartest characters within the game, and I don't think he gets as much credit as you would think versus some of the other characters, maybe because he was an NPC for so long, but I think Xun Yu is a solid choice here at number 7. Let's go ahead and move on to number 6. Alright, moving on to number 6, we've got the big man of Wei himself, Cao Cao. So I think in terms of actual intelligence, there are a few people below him that are most likely smarter than him. Because of Cao Cao's ability to recruit talented people to him, I think that's where Cao Cao's power lies. So Cao Cao, I think in terms of intelligence, he was the wisest, as he would recognize people's talent and he would recruit them to their side. People like Dian Wei, Jia Shu, Zheng Liao. He would recognize people of talent. He had the eye for talent, and as soon as he saw a character that was someone who was capable of getting him closer to his vision, he would recruit them. I think that's why Cao Cao rose to power so fast, because he was recruiting the right people to help push him towards his vision in the best way possible. And I think just because of that ability alone, just that eye for talent, I think Cao Cao is definitely one of the smartest characters in the game. People were drawn to wanting to be a part of Cao Cao's journey. For me, and personally, I think that makes him one of the smartest characters within the game. So coming at number 6, just shy of the top 5, I think Cao Cao is a solid choice. Alright, top 5. We've got the big boys, the smartest people within the Dynasty Warriors series. Let me know what you think about the list down below. Starting off the top 5, we have Guo Jia, one of the most intelligent people when it came to predicting and sensing things. This guy could see it all. He predicted the assassination of Sun Ce due to his arrogance. He predicted Yuan Shao's fall and Cao Cao's rise by comparing their 10 characters. And he also predicted Lu Bu's destruction and Gongsun Kong's measurement to the Yuan family. Guo Jia's specialization in terms of strategy was one of observation and prediction. He was extremely gifted when it came to predicting what would have happened. And he was very good at seeing things from a grand strategic level. And I think because of that, he was able to highly and accurately guide Cao Cao on his early career within the establishment of his kingdom. And Cao Cao was once quoted to have said, "Only Guo Jia knows what's on my mind." So starting off the top 5, I think Guo Jia is a solid selection. One of the smartest characters in the game. His ability was a little bit different than most of the other strategies, but because of that ability, he was able to guide Cao Cao to an early success within the Three Kingdoms period. And I think he's a great choice here at number 5. Let's go ahead and move on to the next character. Next up, coming in at number 4, we have Zhou Yu. So Zhou Yu's abilities as a strategist was pretty much unrivaled, especially within the Wu Kingdom, because this guy was the best when it came to it. His leadership at the Battle of Red Cliffs was one of the most insurmountable moments for him, and it really shined his ability to lead and strategize in a moment where it seemed like it was insurmountable. But Zhou Yu coming in at number 4 should be no surprise to anyone. He's an extremely smart character, and I think he doesn't get as much recognition because of his comparison with like Zhuge Liang and some of the higher level strategists, but I think Zhou Yu is an extremely competent and intelligent general, and a lot of characters that came after him looked to him for guidance. Definitely Sun Quan and Sun Ce definitely relied on Zhou Yu's advice and on what to do and what the best route is to take. So he was always thinking of how he can use whatever situation he's in as an advantage. And again, working with the Shu forces at the Battle of Red Cliff with Pang Tong and Huang Gai, and really initiating that entire fire attack and being the main proponent within the games, and I believe in history as well, to go to war with Cao Cao, to stand toe to toe. I think it shows a lot of not only intelligence but courageousness and leadership abilities that Zhou Yu had, and I think he's a great choice here at number 4. With that being said, let's talk about the top 3 smartest characters within the Dynasty Warriors series. Alright, coming in at number 3, we have Jia Shu. Jia Shu defeating Cao Cao at the Battle of Wan Castle, ridding Cao Cao of his eldest son and personal guard Dian Wei is impressive to say the least. Jia Shu is one of the smartest characters within the game, and after, of course, losing the battle at Wan Castle and Cao Cao capturing him and recruiting him to his side, I think Jia Shu is an underrated strategist within the game, and he's one of the most intelligent strategists within the game. After he joins Cao Cao, he helps defeat Yuan Shao, he helps defeat Lu Bu, and he provides endless amounts of valuable suggestions and advice to Cao Cao and his forces in order to conquer whatever situation they're going against. During the chaos, Jia Shu was able to effortlessly survive and was successful in everything that he did. I think it's really safe to say that Jia Shu during his time was an extremely genius character, but Jia Shu, a no-brainer for one of the top 3 strategists within the game, and I think he's a great choice here at number 3. Alright, coming in at number 2, shouldn't be too surprising to see him up here. We have Sima Yi, one of the super geniuses of the time. Sima Yi was an extremely intellectual and extremely perceptive and insightful character, and the main reason why the Three Kingdoms period comes to an end. He sets up his kingdom, his clan, to becoming the uniter of China, and being able to do that is something extremely impressive to do. He only falls short, of course, to the number 1 character, but with everyone else, I think Sima Yi comes out on top. There is no one like Sima Yi within the game. He is ruthlessly intellectual, and he is able to get what he wants by whatever means necessary. He has countless of achievements and accomplishments, and of course being recognized by Cao Cao, Sima Yi really helping establish the Wei Kingdom, and then of course noticing that everything that he has built is starting to crumble. He begins to put his own plan in motion to set up his kingdom and his clan. And the character responsible for the end of the Three Kingdoms, Sima Yi, coming in at number 2. It's a no-brainer. Let's go ahead and move on to the number 1 character. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have Zhuge Liang. Shouldn't be too much of a surprise to see him up here at number 1, the mastermind behind Three Kingdoms. When it comes to strategists, when it comes to intelligence, there's no character within the game that can compete with his strategy, and even Sima Yi, who is pretty close in terms of intelligence, still had a hard time getting through the Shu Kingdom with Zhuge Liang being there. He's the only character that Sima Yi really deems a worthy opponent. And again, Zhuge Liang, like I mentioned within this video, he always maintains this calm stoicness and doesn't seem to be frazzled by any of the characters within the game. There is no character in the game that Zhuge Liang seems to be worried about, and is always thinking multiple steps ahead in order to put his kingdom in the best position possible to succeed. Zhuge Liang has a long list of accolades and accomplishments, and he's a gigantic reason that Liu Bei was able to really amount to anything, similar to Fa Zhang and Hang Tong, but Zhuge Liang really being the mastermind of pushing that and becoming the person that Liu Bei relies on to adequately and accurately guide him towards his vision. I think Zhuge Liang is the smartest character within the game, no contest, and again, the only character that can really probably hold a candle to him is Sima Yi. And that's pretty much going to be it for the video, guys. Let me know what you think about my list down below. This is a pretty hard list to make. It's really difficult to make a subjective choice based on the character's accolades or what they've really done, and then, you know, making assumptions based on things that they could have done or things that they're really known for. But this is the best list that I can come up with. Again, let me know down below what you guys think. Did I miss anybody? Are certain characters not where they're supposed to be? I love hearing what you guys think about it down below. But that's all I have for the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, definitely appreciate a like, comment, or subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.